let's see how this goes. This has the potential to be meandering. So I want to show you kind of how to pick a song that you know, learn a little bit about chords, the notes on a keyboard, things like that. So some basic music stuff and how to use resources, non-musical, musical resources to get your ideas down. So I have a session and I'm going to try and do this track, Can't Feel My Face by The Weeknd. It's actually really simple as far as chord changes go. The actual production's dope though, and not so simple. Let's just start. So I have a session. I'm going to first and foremost create a click track because you got to have a click track. I'm going to create, let's see, let's do drums, bass, piano. I'll do 5 mono instrument tracks to start. And I'm going to name my first one piano, my next one bass, my next one drums, next is pad, and I don't know what I want the 5th one to be. It's just there for fun. All right, so how am I going to play this? What do I know? Let's insert an instrument first for our piano. And sometimes when I'm doing a track like this, I just start with any random piano sound, or any sound for that matter, but piano straightforward enough. And I like an electric piano because I'm just trying to get the chords down, and it really doesn't matter. So let's talk about chords and music for a second here. Now, I brought up some web pages so we can start to, picture the piano keyboard. If you don't know anything about music, this is for you. If you know anything about music, fast forward a few minutes. The most important thing that I can tell kids is to look at the pattern of the keyboard, where you see 2 black keys and 3 black keys, 2 black keys, 3 black keys, 2 black, 3. And the white keys, that go along with that. If we look at this particular picture, you'll see that to the left of the 2 black keys is C. And if you go up sequentially on the white keys, you have C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C again. Do the whole thing again and C again. And you notice every time C is to the left, the white key to the left of the 2 black keys. That's all there is. The notes, the musical notes go from A to G. Don't repeat, and repeat. They don't go beyond. The black keys are essentially sharps or flats. Depending the chord changes and structure that you're doing, you might refer to this black key as C sharp or D flat. Sharp being the hashtag or the pound sign, the flat being that little B looking thing. So it is really important to get to know the keys. Be better if you knew them by note, but at least you need to be able to visually recognize them for a couple of other reasons. So I went over to Google and I plugged in Weeknd Can't Feel My Face chords, because what I'm looking for, I'm not looking for the lyrics, I'm looking for the chords. And I happen to know, because I did some research, there's a website called eChords that I particularly like for this kind of thing. And when I first typed it didn't show up. So I typed in eChords into my search terms. eChords is cool, usually trustworthy. You can't always trust these tab sites. Can't Feel My Face. What I like about it is it shows you the lyrics, but more importantly, when you roll over the chord, it shows you the tab for that chord. This is obviously a guitar tab, and secondly, it's open tuning. I wouldn't play these chords if I were trying to play this song on guitar, but you could play like a little acoustic cafe version, I suppose. But if you come up here to where it says keyboard and click on that, you see that now when you roll over it, it's a piano keyboard. And it shows you the notes that you need to play. So in the G chord, it's G, B, and D. And this here, you'll notice, is actually an octave above the G, so it's another G. Having that fourth note in the chord just adds some richness to it. All right, so we have C, F, and A minor, and it looks like, if you scroll down, that is it. So once we get that in to our session, oh, there's a C in there somewhere. All right, I'm not going to bother with all that because I'm just going to show you how to do this. All right, so a website like that, like this, shows us what we need to be able to play. There's another resource out there. If you come to YouTube and type in "Can't Feel My Face," piano tutorial. In this case, I typed in Synthesia because there's this cool little application out there that people are putting together songs where these notes are dropping out of the sky, and you just need to be able to make that connection between what you're seeing here on the screen and your own session. Now, let me bring something up here. If I go to the Midi Editor, here you have a piano keyboard, and I can see it, and I can make, the connection that these numbers, if you look at them, are all, if you tilt your head to the left, are all just to the left of the two black keys. So the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are all C. C3, that's middle C, as though you're sitting at the middle of the piano, of a real piano. So when I see G, B, D, I can come over here. Those are my notes. So I have a couple options. I can choose my freehand tool and draw in the notes of that chord. And then where does it go? So it's interesting. This it's actually super simple because the chord structure stays the same. So by the way, I highlighted all these notes. I clicked Option, clicked, and dragged this across or over because I know that it pretty much follows this. That does not sound good. All right, let's check that third chord. A, C, and E. A. All right, so it didn't transfer over by just dragging it. There we go. All right. So we have our chords. By definition, for me in this class, a chord is more than one note being played at the same time. And I'm also going to add that fourth note, that octave. Just to have a richer. All right, so now looking at my Midi editor, my edit window, I have a 3-measure little loop here. I just realized it should be this third chord should go for 2 measures. 4, 2, 3, 4, 1. All right, so we basically have the piano part. Here is just a note about the website. website stuff. I did do a little bit of searching, and that both of these E chords and this really simple piano tutorial gave us the chords. Then I looked at this one. I mean, it has best piano cover and 3 exclamation points. It's got to be good, right? Well, not necessarily. It actually plays different chords, so this person's ear doesn't get us to the same place. But what I wanted to show you is that this one, further along, brings in the bass in yellow. So what's cool about this program, like the green is the vocal melody, ignore it. The purple is the chords, and the bass is in yellow. So that would help you even get the bass line. I'm going to show you a different trick that I often do. I'm going to insert an instrument. I'm going to choose a synth bass. One of my favorites in Expand is the clicky D and B. And what I'm going to do, highlight my clip, Option, click, and drag. And now, just to listen to it, it sounds horrible because this particular bass is monophonic, meaning it will only play one note at a time. So when it's being challenged with these 4 notes per chord, it's like, I don't know what to do. So it's just playing one. And I'm going to delete, by highlighting and hitting delete, the top notes, leaving just the bottom notes, which is the root of those chords. And what that means is the bass is there to support the piano. However, I'd like it to be an octave lower. That does not sound right. How'd that get? Well, it is right. Let's listen to it together. Okay. My next quick and dirty little trick is, if you want richness very quickly, down and dirty, I often will double my piano part with, why can't I read right now? Oh, there's more up. Oh my goodness. With a pad of some kind. And this is totally random. Let's try dreaming. I'm going to again copy the chords from the piano. Particularly like it, but you get the idea. What else can we do very quickly? We can go into, since this was straight drawing with no real thought about it, we could think, you know, what kind of a pattern do we want on this bass? And as long as we're playing the same notes, okay, Okay, so you can just draw notes like that, or we can record them. But I'm going to do that just in a separate video, so it stays a bit shorter. But let's do a little bit of drums at least, right? I do like to play my drums, so I'm going to put my track into record ready. I need to obviously put in an instrument. My keyboard's not triggering. Let's see. There we go. Just needed to restart the MIDI controller. All right, so I'm going to copy this, duplicate it, so that at least I get 8 measures. I got my click track, I have my count off, my metronome, I found my notes. Actually, this is a great chance for me to talk about MIDI merge, this button. All right, so I'm going to do everything in a loop. So it's going to play for 8 measures. It's going to go back and keep recording. And I'm going to add instruments as I go. So I'm going to do kick and snare first. And then, actually, you know what? I'm going to end this video and do a quick other one. Talk to you later.